Thanks for coming. Maximizing your Salesforce investment. As Randy said, I'm Ryan Huff, CEO of Cirrus Insight. We build an app specifically for Salesforce that really puts sales in your inbox. So we built an app first for Gmail, then Office 365, more recently Outlook, also apps for iOS, for Android, basically all centered around the idea of helping you accelerate adoption with Salesforce, get more out of your Salesforce investment. So hopefully I can share some of that with you today. We are a bootstrapped company ourselves, 56 employees. We've been around for 5 years. So from an SMB standpoint, we're an SMB as well. We've had to go through a lot of these same challenges with CRM, as I'm sure many of you have. And even before this, I was running a Salesforce consulting practice and helped a lot of sales teams get up to speed on using Salesforce, helped a lot of ISVs build apps on the App Exchange, things like that. So all told, about 8 years of Salesforce experience, CRM experience in general. I'm one of those guys that reads the 350-page release notes Salesforce puts out 3 times a year. So there is something a little bit wrong with me, but I really, I think CRM is great. There's a lot that it can do for companies. There's a lot that you can do for sales reps, and that's really what I'm going to talk about a lot today. What it should be is really that 360-degree view of your customer, right? It is the data warehouse, so to speak, of that organizational knowledge that can help you understand your customer better and can streamline your business operations. I think most organizations probably start looking at a CRM when they start thinking about reporting and analytics, and certainly if it has all of that information in there, then yeah, you can build all of those types of reports. So yeah, CRM is great. So what's the problem? Why is there this struggle with actually using it, actually putting it to use and accelerating sales with your team? We all know who our top 25 customers are, right? We all know who's managing each of those accounts. We all know when the last time they spoke with those accounts was. We know what they spoke about. You know how to forecast and all of that stuff, and it's because it's all in your CRM, and none of us have any challenges with that. But that's probably not reality, right? So we all go into these implementations of Salesforce, of CRM in general, with the idea that we'll get all of those things, and maybe there will be some initial pain going through configuration and rollout and training, but we'll get there and we'll have all of those answers and get those reports delivered to our inbox every morning. But it's a little bit challenging to do that. And that's because of adoption, right? So usually the blame falls on sales reps. Sometimes it falls on consultants for not setting it up right and things like that. But you've spent thousands and thousands of dollars buying licenses, configuring, customizing, training, and maintaining your CRM. But you're probably not getting as much out of it as you'd like to. So really, this is how I think most of us in reality look at CRM. It's something that, as a sales rep, it's something I have to do because my boss has told me to do it. It's a pain in the ass, and I'm just going to do it to alleviate that pain. It's not really something for me. It's something for my boss. And it takes a lot of time, right? It takes a lot of time takes time out of selling, takes time out of talking to customers. I have to do this laborious data entry. It's a pain in the ass. In fact, only about a quarter of the time your salespeople are actually working, are at work? Are they actually talking to customers? Are they actually closing deals and doing what you hired them to do? The rest of the time is some of these mundane tasks having to do with email and data entry and going to meetings and all of those things that we force them to do because it's, that's the other reality. So, that's the risk, and really, salespeople again kind of see CRM as a management tool, as something that managers are using really just to keep an eye on their salespeople and make sure that they're doing what we hired them to do. We want to make sure that they're doing their job. We want to make sure that we have a pretty report to go to management with and show how the team is doing well and things like that. So a lot of times it comes down to those vanity types of things that at least that's what the salespeople think. Another perspective here, it's hard to build a presentation like this and not think about Dilbert, but you need a dashboard application to track your key metrics. That way you'll have more data to ignore when making decisions based on company politics. Will the data be accurate? Well, let's pretend that matters. That's the perspective salespeople have, and I keep going back to that because I think it's important when you're rolling out a CRM and approaching this that you take that into account, how it's being perceived by the people that are actually going to be using it more often than not. Adoption, Salesforce adoption, CRM adoption is something people have talked about for a long time, but we still haven't gotten it right. I blame stuff like this, which was a slide pulled out of a deck from an Oracle CRM training deck. My favorite are these last 2 points here. Demonstrate the necessary behavioral and technological competencies necessary to meet the usage expectations for the role. I think I fell asleep halfway through. And then, basically the last bullet point there says, you'll know you have adoption when CRM is doing everything that you want it to do, which is kind of circular in my mind. But these are basically saying you'll know you'll have adoption when you have adoption. So it's terrible. How do you actually change that? And it comes down to culture and tools. And of course, there's going to be a shameless plug here at the end. But I think tools aren't the only part here. You have to have an organization behind actually changing the practices and the benefits that everyone sees with CRM, right? So from a buy-in standpoint, you want to make sure that everybody's on board. Today, most CRM implementations start with management selecting the CRM and then telling sales reps, this is what you're going to use. This is what is going to be a big part of your job. And the reason they're doing that is so management can get better reports. And when there is training, if there is training, I should turn that off, sorry. If there's training, it's more procedural. Here's how to create a contact. Here's how to log a call. Here's how to update an opportunity. But instead, we really need to be having conversations around a bottoms-up approach, right? Involve sales reps during the whole evaluation process. Make sure that they understand that CRM can be a tool for them as well as management. And in training, don't just train step-by-step tasks. Show them how it can be an effective selling tool. So in terms of buy-in, going more into depth there, again, today we talk more about management and the benefits there. We exclude sales reps during that overall process. And the reports and dashboards and things like that we all create are really oftentimes not even visible to sales reps. If they are, it's a very restricted view. We really need to have them be part of the conversation from the very beginning and decide what parts of their job can best be automated from the CRM. And all of that data, that can help sales reps close deals, and that's why we've hired them. So open that up, be a little bit more transparent. You've got a great system that has this 360-degree view of this customer information. Open it up to them and show them how they can use it. And I think this is especially true with SMBs, right? We're all running small businesses. There aren't many people on the floor at any given time, and everybody has to wear different hats. It's that much more important that that we have everybody pointed in the same direction and knowing why we're going in that direction. So from a, to the perspective point, again, helping them understand how those reports can better help them get into an account and understand what else is happening at that account, who else is talking to them, what other stakeholders are involved. All that information should be in your Salesforce, and if you can get your sales reps to buy into the benefits of that, you'll have better luck getting it into your CRM. Again, instead of teaching them how to create a contact, update an opportunity, and a lot of times using a stick to incentivize them to, update your opportunities on time for our Monday sales call, it's using the carrot approach. Again, show them how they can use their CRM to find customer support status, find out if that issue that they brought up 2 weeks ago has been resolved, if they're excited about the progress of the deal and whether or not they're going to meet their goals. All of those conversations, all of that information can be in your CRM. And again, it goes back to showing them that it helps them by putting this in. The other part of this, better tools. Cirrus Insight has been out there for 5 years. There's a lot of other sales tools out there to help your team make better use of their CRM. And we've taken the approach of really bringing CRM into the inbox. We chose that because it reduced context switching. I like to call it the third screen. It eliminates the third screen. You don't have Salesforce in one screen and email in another screen and yet another app to go into. It's all built into one place, so your reps spend less time switching back and forth. They have the information they need when they need it, when they're having conversations with those customers. And all of that mundane data entry can be streamlined, can be automated. It's all part of the conversation that's happening. It's all happening where they're spending most of their time, which is the inbox. So is anybody in here a Cirrus Insight user? Great, thank you. So this is probably a little different than what you might have seen. This is a sneak peek of something that we're coming out with. It doesn't present very well up here, but the main idea here is, we're obviously showing Gmail here. All of this information is information that comes out of your CRM in real time. As soon as you open up an email, it pulls up information about Nina Murray in this case, and shows you what the pipeline looks like, shows you what the support history looks like, shows you what recent conversations have been, and allows you to create log a call, create a task, create this person as a contact if they're not in there that easily, right? So again, it's about taking some of these mundane tasks and boiling that down into a single click, or sometimes no clicks at all, just happening for you in the background. And then giving them reporting tools, letting them know there's supposed to be lines between each of these dots, but use your imagination. Letting them know that the activities that they've been doing for the last few weeks are actually having results, that their emails are getting opened, that their emails are getting responded to, that the calls they're making are actually having results and they're moving deals forward. So again, we approach it from a bottoms-up standpoint, giving a tool to sales reps to make their lives easier. And if you can do that, they'll get data into their CRM more often. You'll get the reports you need, and the benefits are, come full circle. So I want to make this more of a conversation rather than me talking at you for the next 10 minutes. So what kind of questions do you guys have? What kind of challenges in your CRMs that you have?
What kind of customer